On the push plates come with this little accessory bag, which has 2 wire nuts and 2 flag connectors, as well as the Allen wrenches to mount the box, push plate to the box. These transmitters are not polarity sensitive. We don't need to worry about which one goes where when you're hooking up the flag connectors. So we're just gonna remove that. You can tie this around and wire nut. I think I'm gonna strip that a little bit more. It looks a little bit short. There we go. So just tie them together and wire nut. Okay, there's one done. And then do this again. So now we got 2 flag connectors here, right? So I'm gonna set this aside. Here is the push plate. I'm gonna pull it off. Now, there is one trick to these push plates. So as you can see, here is the actual switching mechanism. When you push on the push plate, that's what activates the door opener. Now, when you look at this switch right here, there are 2 legs on this side and 1 leg on this side. These are labeled. This leg right here is NC for normally closed. This leg right here is NO for normally open, and this leg is COM for common. One leg is going to go to the common, and you're just gonna push that flag connector on and make sure it gets seated. The other leg is always gonna go to normally open, NO, which is gonna be this one right here. And then we're gonna push that on. And then if we click on the push plate now, we can hear the relay clicking on the receiver. So we know it's programmed and everything is done right. What will happen if you hook up to this normally closed is the transmitter will be in a state where it is constantly using the battery until the switch is pressed, which means that you'll drain your 9-volt battery in about 3 days. So if you have that issue, then double check where you hooked up on your push plate, because that could be causing your problem. All right, and now this is ready to go in the box. So here's this little battery compartment we have, the quick change battery compartment. See, it slides up to close it. So there you go, and that's how it works. So that's always going to mount to the bottom so that it's not exposed and people can't see it. So for this, we are going to set the battery in this way and the transmitter in like this. Again, the blue wire is just a signal or an antenna, so you don't need to do anything with it. Just let it kind of hang out in there. And then only thing to really make sure is that when you place these wires in here, that they're not going to be in the way of any of these screw posts. So here's our bag of hardware. We're going to go with the Allen screws right here, and we can start all of them. So you want to start them all to make it easy. They are long screws, so they do take a bit. So we're going to want to thread them down. And if you see look at the push plate, you can see how it works. We're going to land on these 2 outers and these 2 outers. And if you see, it's slotted, so it's made to, you shouldn't ever have to pull these all the way out. You just set it in, and you pull the top out, and then it'll come straight out. So we're just gonna keep going here. So that's down pretty good. Now this orientation does matter. So here is the battery removal tray. You want that to be on the bottom. Okay, then we're just gonna set this down, and we're gonna first set the bottom in, slide it down, and then you should feel the toggles that I was showing you, or the slots. And I made these ones a little bit too tight. So on the top side, you want them to be backed out a little bit more so that they can get into those toggles easier. Or sorry, the slots, excuse me. There we go. And then that's it. And what we're gonna do now is you're gonna use the Allen wrench and you can tighten it down. So it's just gonna fit right through these holes. And then you can see in there, we're going right to the Allens. And we're gonna snug these down. All right, and then that's it. There we go, and the receiver's clicking. And again, when you want to replace the battery, and again, with the 9-volt battery, these should, depending on your frequency of use on the door, it should last anywhere from 1 to 3 years. So they really don't go bad that often. It's nice to have the battery compartment because it makes it very easy. Instead of having to take apart the push plate, you just slide that down, and then look, you can pull this, slide this out, and then there's your battery right there. And then you slide it back in once it's replaced, and then shut that. It can't come out. All right. Now you see that we didn't use this piece right here. This piece is meant for flush mounting. So if you plan to mount hardwire, I would not recommend flush mounting for wireless transmitters. You usually end up with transmission issues because the signal has trouble penetrating through different materials. But if you plan on hardwiring, you can absolutely do this. You can use this. This is the flush mount box, and it just bolts right up to it. And this will actually mount to a single or double gang box. And then it gives you a little bit more of a finished look, kind of a trim around, this way, so that it sits inside. And for the other push plate, it's just the same process as the first one. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or need to know where to purchase any of these products, visit www.autodoorandhardware.com.